Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Tim's Sports Talk.
How's it going, man?
How's it going, dude? Tell your audience where they can find you and what's your content about.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm the Tim Sports Talk on YouTube. That's where I am for now. I don't really. I technically have a Twitter at the Tim's ST, but I'm not big on Twitter. But anyway, no, I do a lot of football content, some basketball content when the NBA is going on, and I'm obviously a huge Skins fan, so a lot of Skins content as well. Right now, I'm going through record predictions of all the teams. So if you're interested in that, you can come over to my channel one a day throughout the week, and yeah, that's what I'm about right now.
Yeah, so you do more than just the Skins. You do like all 32 teams?
Yeah, especially with I do every Skins game as far as like play-by-play as well, and then I do the Thursday night game, the Sunday night game, and the Monday night game, and so I'm really into fantasy football as well. I don't do much fantasy football talk on the channel, but I follow all 32 teams due to that.
Okay, so since you're a Washington football fan, okay, so how does the training camp has looked so far as a fan perspective?
From a fan perspective, there's the rookies are very intriguing. It's fun to watch these rookies. Jamin Davis out there, Benjamin St. Juste is a corner that we have. So De'Ami Brown has looked good. Sam Cosmi, he's been getting beat up a little bit with our great defensive line. He's our new right tackle potentially. So Chase Young and Montez Sweat has been dealing with him a little bit, so he's got a lot of learning to do. But overall, I think camp, we're just trying to fight the COVID. We've got a few cases where last year we did great. I think we only had like 2 all year, and I think we've already put something like 7 or 8 people on the COVID list, so hopefully that doesn't mess us up too bad. But other than that, it's we're practicing. We're excited for game 1 of preseason, and it should be a fun year, hopefully.
Fun year. So how do you feel about the quarterback situation?
The quarterback situation. So Ron Rivera likes to talk about the quarterback competition. I don't think there is much of a quarterback competition, if we're all being honest. I think that it's pretty much locked in that Ryan Fitzpatrick will be the starter week 1. And I like Heineke. The big problem with Heineke is that he's never started in a game that he didn't get hurt in, and he's already had a couple of injuries. Not like real injuries, but little banged up thing. I think he had an ankle yesterday. I think he got hit in the face where he got bruised up, like bleeding lip or whatever. So he kind of finds a way to get injured, unfortunately. And but that's clearly the biggest weakness on this team, and that's not where you want to be weak at if you want to be a good football team. But yeah, the quarterback situation is dicey one at best. But hopefully we get this, kind of new and improved Fitzpatrick that everybody's throwing out these numbers and comparing them to like Russell Wilson and Tom Brady and this whatever. Obviously, I don't think he's anywhere near those guys, but in his older age, he seems to be a little bit smarter with the football and playing better at 39 years old.
Okay, so who's this one player on offense that you're looking forward to that other teams need to watch out for?
The one player on offense, so everybody knows his name, Terry McLaurin. Okay, everybody knows it, and everybody knows that he's a solid receiver in the league. He's had 1,000 yards last year, but I think he has the potential to be a potential top 5 receiver in this league. I don't put him there yet, but this year with Ryan Fitzpatrick likes to throw, feed his number 1 guy. Just throw it to him all the time. You look back at Brandon Marshall, who had 175 targets. Stevie Johnson for Buffalo, who had 3 consecutive years over 1,000 yards. He's going to find his number 1 target and throw it to him a lot. He could have an absolute explosion of a year and put on the map for Terry McLaurin. I'm loving. I love him. All Washington fans love him, but that would be my guy. That all of a sudden he's in the top tier talk rather than just being a solid top 20 receiver.
Well, he's been very consistent for you guys. Even with quarterback play, he kind of shown that he could still be that receiver. He's proven to be a number 1 receiver for you guys. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. He's kind of been coming into the lead and come by storm. His rookie year, he was just into the scene, leading you guys in receiving yards. And his following season, he just got 1,000 yards. I mean, the future is bright for this kid. I think he's one of the most underrated player right now, but he can be in the top 5 for sure if he keeps doing what he does. I mean, very consistent. But okay, since we're going to talk about defense, all right. So who's that one player for the Washington football team that's gonna break out? That we should watch out for. Like watch out. Like, hey, you
Yep.
don't know about this guy.
The exciting guy is Benjamin St. Juice, our third-round pick. He's a corner, and Kendall Fuller, obviously a guy that has gone to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl with the Chiefs. He has been really solid for us. We gave him a solid deal of $40 million, and right now we have started already this rookie over him on the outside and move Kendall Fuller to the inside. And a lot of us Skins fan like to compare him to potentially a Richard Sherman 2.0. You guys know him well over in the NFC West. And he's not the fastest guy, but really long, 6'3", long arms, but super quick and fluid in his hips. We're really excited for a guy like Benjamin St. Juice behind this front seven to really all of a sudden explode right out of the gate as a rookie.
Oh, dude, that was one of the sleepers on draft day who I wanted because he had the lengthy size. He was 6'3", 200 pounds, even though he didn't have any career interception at Minnesota, but the guy was just shutting down opposing receivers.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one guy I actually did want it in the third round at least or somewhere around there. But I think you guys got yourself a good pick right there. So as far as like your team in general,
mm-hmm.
I know that you kind of like played in the weakest division. Let's be honest, it doesn't seem as competitive like the NFC West.
Mm-hmm.
Are you this confident about your team repeating this division, or you think it's going to be a little harder this year?
100% it's going to be harder this year. That's just how the NFC East works. We haven't had a repeat winner since 2003, 2004, back in the Philadelphia Eagles with Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens and those guys. So it's most likely going to be the Cowboys or the Giants. They're going to be coming back much healthier. The Giants have quietly built a really solid football team. They're just waiting on Daniel Jones to take the next step. Dak Prescott obviously coming back from injury for the Cowboys. And, I have us being a better football team, a little bit better record, but missing the playoffs because of our division is going to get a little bit better. And I know when you look at our record, we won the division last year with a losing record, and the NFC East kind of likes to get made fun of, the NFC least and everything. But they surprise a lot of teams week in and week out. Like you had the Eagles beating the Saints, you had the Giants beating the Seahawks late last season, and we had Washington beating the 11-0 Steelers. So they're kind of a interesting division where any one of us could wake up at any moment and beat somebody that we shouldn't be. So it's a tough division, even though the records don't show it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the record doesn't show it, but you guys have like a really good defense, like especially with guys like Chase Young, Montez Sweat. Even without Kerrigan, you guys still have a young defense. Like your front four is like really good. Linebacking core was like your guys' main weakness, but you guys dropped that linebacker from Kentucky. What's his name? Jamin Davis?
Jamin Davis. Yep. Jamin Davis. Yep.
That was the one thing that most Washington football fans have told me. Oh, we just need a linebacker and we'd be good right there. It's like that's what most of them told me. Big Simple, a lot of other Washington fans like ProTech even said it. Like there was just plenty of them kept saying, if only we had a linebacker, we'd be all right.
Oh, the linebacker room was absolutely atrocious last year. John Bostic can't cover a soul, even though we have to bring him back. But yeah, so Jamin Davis is a welcoming addition, especially with the speed. And then a guy that a lot of people don't like. He's slowly becoming a solid linebacker. Is Cole Holcomb. He's the only one I liked last year in that room. So the other Washington fans did not lie to you. Our linebacker core was not a core at all. It was terrible.
Yeah, even with that, you still had a good pass rush. You guys were still good, even with the mediocre linebacking core. But I've seen what they were talking about. Like, there was just a lot of missed tackles from your linebacker group. But now that you had this guy who's, like, fast and he can cover, I think that's why you guys picked him pretty high. So it's like we just got to wait and see how it plays out. So, like, as a fan of the Washington football, what's your expectation for the team record in general? And –
yeah, no, I have us right at 9-8, just above 500. I think that honestly, we're a team that could fluctuate big. Like so, if we get decent play from Ryan Fitzpatrick, we could win 11 games. but we're going to get decent play some games and we're going to get trash play some other games. And it's going to be an up and down season. And we have also a heck of a road in the middle. We have to play teams like the Chiefs. We have to play teams like the Packers, the Saints, the Seahawks. Obviously, we have the Bills at week 3. So we have like kind of a murderous row kind of in the middle of our season, and then we have all the division games thrown at the end. We have 5 division games in a row to finish the year. Those are going to be a lot of very tough games because it's always division, and you have teams trying to fight for playoff spots. And I like it at 9-8 right now. I know that Yuki in your chat, I'm sure you've seen him before. He's a 49er fan, likes to say that we're going to go 5-12. I think we're too good of a football team all around to go 5-12. Yes, we have a terrible quarterback situation, but the rest of our team is seriously really good. So I like our chances to go 9-8.
Okay, since we were talking about how he was saying the other way around, but I've seen your prediction of you picking my team 9 wins. Like, can you explain to me the difference of what you see? I know some people are kind of saying that Jimmy G isn't going to be the guy for us much long. Trey Lance would be the answer. I know a lot of people are pressuring this Trey Lance push, but what's your opinion on it?
Yeah, so the Niners are a team that they've obviously lost some pieces from that Super Bowl run team. Buckner, Richard Sherman's now gone, so they're not quite as good on the defensive. They're still a solid defensive line. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Nick Bosa. I almost said Joey Bosa. Nick Bosa is a monster. I think about that game where you guys came to us 2 years ago, and you guys ended up beating us 9-0 in that torrential downpour. Nick Bosa was everywhere in that game. I love him from Ohio State. Amazing. Obviously, everybody loves him. Fred Warner's obviously a beast as well. You're going to have a great run game. That's just what the Kyle Shanahan run game does, especially with a guy like a track star like Raheem Mostert. I like Trey Sermon. But yeah, it comes down to a lot of what can Jimmy do, and your receiving core to me, and you can explain more about these younger guys and kind of no-name dudes that I don't know as well. And if Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuels get hurt again, your receiving core is very, very suspect to me. And then you already don't have a great quarterback to kind of elevate those guys. So I have you guys going around 9-8, a little bit of help from the schedule. I like your schedule's pretty soft, luckily for you guys. That's good, except for the division games. Obviously, your division, as you said, is one of the toughest in the league. So I just think 9-8 is a realistic expectation for this team. But if you guys can stay fully healthy, I can see 10 or 11 wins. I can see a couple more wins for sure, but I don't know. I would imagine that you're going to get a few guys down again, so unfortunately.
Yeah, it happens. Like, that's the one question mark. Like, after Debo and Ayuk, who's going to be the other guy stepping in? I mean, if Muhammad Sanu can be exactly what he was with the Falcons, then maybe we're onto something. But if Jalen Hurd can finally stay healthy and showcase what he could do, then maybe there's something good with this guy. But
so Jalen Hurd is the guy that you think that is like the younger guy that could step up?
In a way, he would, but it's the durability. He's got the big body, but he's supposed to be our number 3 receiver, but just never was able to stay healthy. But he's a big dude.
Fair enough. Yeah, he's not somebody I knew going into this. I was curious. One of the things I was curious about was who you thought could be that third guy. So Jalen Hurd would be potentially your pick?
No. As my number 3 receiver, I'm just talking by depth-wise. I mean, it's like from what I'm seeing, it looks to me that they had Trent Sherfield and Muhammad Sanu going at that number 3 spot, so it can be wide open. Like, Richie James is one of the underutilized receivers we have on our roster. Like, when given the opportunity, he's kind of showcased the ability to make some big plays and be dynamic, but limited experience is what kind of hurts the receiving core. They're very unproven. The only one that's the most proven receiver besides Ayuk and Debo is just Muhammad Sanu. And Trent Sherfield, he's just been nothing more than a special teamers, but he's kind of showed some buzzes during training camp on making contested catches and all that stuff. So that can be one of the guys to watch out for.
Fair enough. I see your comment here, hedging the predictions that their Niners are usually really good or terrible. My initial thought was a terrible record. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, when I went into sitting down and taking the deep dive into the Niners, I was thinking like a 6-11 season was my initial thought of like what division you're in and what's going on. And then I talked to Yuki, and then he's like, our schedule's soft as all get out. And I look at it, and it's like, okay, fair enough. You have teams like Houston, Jacksonville. There's a lot of teams on that schedule that honestly you guys should beat theoretically. So that's why it actually went up to 9 wins. Was my initial thought it was going to be a bad season, but then it was going to go up. And the potential's there, especially if Trey Lance hits, which I believe he will. I love Trey Lance coming out. He protects the football, has amazing mobility, strong arm. So I like the future there. It's just I don't know if this year is your year.
Totally understandable, man. That's what I like about certain people's prediction. Doesn't mean I'm going to come at you and say, oh, you're a moron. You don't know what you're talking about. I just want to hear what you got to say and then, talk football and in general. But
you don't have to say that. That's obvious.
No, yeah, it's kind of intriguing, man. It gets the audience to think that you're in a different way. But, I like to see what you got to say. And I think you got a solid point when it comes down to the receiving core. Like, after that, it's pretty suspect. Jimmy G's ability to stay healthy can be the only downfall. But if Trey Lance is not ready and he gets thrown to the fire, that can be the only problem right there. And then outside of our injuries, like, secondary is like our most weakness because we don't have any capable backup. So it's like, linebacking core, I'm good with that. Defensive line depth is pretty deep. But I think when it comes to the secondary, it's kind of like the most concerning situation for us as Niners fans to be more worried about. But I think as far as a team, I think we're like decent with those depth-wise, but cornerback is our biggest weakness after that. Like Verrett can play for so long, and then he'll get injured. Mosley, he's decent. Williams, like Quan Williams, he can be really good, but he can't play a full season. So that's the only problem right there.
Yeah, injuries were the downfall of you guys last year. Obviously, you guys were projected to be a really good football team coming off the Super Bowl participant, and then it seemed like 12 of your 22 starters went down by week 5 or something crazy like that. It was just gnarly to see how you just fell apart. Unfortunate circumstances. Yeah,
a lot of those injuries were devastating blows. It was hard to overcome. Like, it's kind of happened with us since we've gone to Levi Stadium, even with Shanahan. A lot of people be criticizing and saying, is it to do with the training staff, or is it the way the players are trained, or is it just the fact that these players are not being cautious about it?
Injuries are funky things. Hamstrings or like pulled muscles can definitely be, I wouldn't say prevented, but mitigated if you treat those properly in the training staff. But I mean, torn ACLs, crazy, weird injuries, those just happen, and a team's going to get obliterated every year, probably 3 or 4 of them. That's just we were the same way. I believe it was like 3 or 4 years ago. We actually had an interesting team. I think it was after the Kirk Cousins went to the playoffs year, and we were a very interesting football team. And then it seemed like everybody got hurt. Deshaun Jackson was out immediately. Like, the whole team just absolutely fell apart. And all of a sudden, we're now a 3-13 football team or something crazy like that. And it just sucks when it goes down like that.
Yeah, injuries just happen, but it shouldn't happen to where it's out of control. These bugs keep on increasing. It's just like a virus. Like, everybody's catching on and getting sick and just missing time. So it's like, yeah, as far as Washington, I would put them in between the mix to win that division, but it would have to be between either the Giants. I don't know if the Giants are going to make a stride. I don't think so, but it might just come down between the Cowboys and the Washington football, because when healthy, I think Dallas can bring their best, but they just don't have the right coaching staff. They do have the talent, but I think Washington just has the more heart than what they do in general.
I completely agree with that. I was not on the Mike McCarthy train. I know, because we all were looking for coaches. 3 of our teams in the division were looking for the coaches at the same time, and McCarthy was thrown the Washington football team's way, and I was not high on that one at all. And I think the Cowboys are finding out why. Ezekiel Elliott had one of his worst seasons yet, and if you go back to Mike McCarthy and how he coached Aaron Jones, one of the better running backs in the league right now, Aaron Jones was nothing statistically back then, and it's like, you never use your guy right. Why aren't you using your one of your best players, Aaron Jones? And of course now LaFleur came in and Aaron Jones just took off. So I'm not high on McCarthy, but you're right. The talent is undeniable of the Cowboys right now. They're so good as far as a talent perspective.
Yeah, it just takes the coaching staff to get the best out of these players. I mean, you can tell the difference between what's talented and what's not. It's just either the coaching's not that great or they're just not all in for this team in general. Like for example, you got the Raiders. They don't have a great coaching staff, but they might have some okay players. If they were to get them in the right position to succeed, then maybe they'd be okay. But they just got the wrong coaching staff, and that's another example of what the Cowboys are too.
Mm-hmm.
You can have some good players, but if you don't put them in the right situation to succeed, man, they're just never gonna pan out.
Yeah, that defense was horrific last year for the Cowboys. We'll see if the Dan Quinn hiring from Atlanta will help them out. A lot of people really praise him for his defensive prowess. So that hopefully for our sake that does not work out, but for their sake, hopefully it works out and that improves, because I don't even remember who their defensive coordinator was last year, but that defense was unbelievably bad, and it shouldn't have been. They had 6 out of their 11 guys be previous Pro Bowlers, and yet they were one of the most historically terrible defenses the league's ever seen. It was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, you know who was a defense coordinator? It was a former Niners head coach, Mike Nolan. This guy just didn't know how to coach. His track record of defense was outdated, man. Like, the guy couldn't even get a top defense. Even when he was in Baltimore, he was a linebackers coach, and we got him to be our head coach after that year. So it's like, you go from Dan Quinn, who's got a really good track record when it comes to coaching defense like Seattle. They won a Super Bowl with the Legion of Boom. So the Cowboys are trying to build a similar type of form, but it depends on the players if they fit the scheme. You got to fit this system in order to excel at this next level. But if they don't buy into the system, if they don't fit, then it's going to lead to misassignments, bad kind of plays that they're going to do.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just how it plays out.
Yeah, the thing about the Legion of Boom is they were that talented, where I believe, if I remember right, they just ran cover 3 all game and said beat us. And teams just couldn't do it because that's how deep they were, especially in the secondary. Of course, Richard Sherman was over there. Bobby Wagner in the linebacking group. Cam Chancellor was a monster over there. So there was a lot of just pure talent on that team. But the Cowboys have a lot of pure talent. I mean, you think DeMarcus Lawrence, you think rookie Micah Parsons, they have the other linebacker, Jalen Smith. They have a lot of interesting talent on that young defense as well. So hopefully, as I said, for our sake, they don't figure that out.
And that's all we want to hope for. Just example for the Rams, hopefully I'm wrong about them winning that division, but hey, they're a more complete team, so that's just the way how we would think,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he could. I mean, that's the thing with Dan Quinn is if he can get the right talent players, he can turn it around. But it's going to take a lot more for Dallas to be a turnaround, because Mike McCarthy's play calls can be a bit suspect, and that's why he inherited Aaron Rodgers. He inherited everything in Green Bay. Just like how Matt LaFleur is doing the same thing. I think Matt LaFleur is in that same category. I don't think he gets the best out of his players. If you think about it, name a coach that can adjust with lesser talent and get the best out of players. And there's nobody in that same category with Bill Belichick, guys like Kyle Shanahan, Sean Payton, Sean McVay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ron Rivera, he's kind of got the best out of you guys and made you guys win the division. So it tells you that there's not many coaches. But if Matt LaFleur had lesser talent, he's gonna fail because he doesn't get players to buy in. So it's Mike McCarthy, you put him around a lesser talent, that's what you're gonna get. And this is the most talented team he's ever coached, and he can't even get them to the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, last year they couldn't get to the playoffs because they're a team similar to you guys that got decimated, right? Their whole O-line got hurt. Dak Prescott got hurt. And their defense for some reason just was garbage. But Mike McCarthy's an offensive coach, so how much do you put? Technically, everything falls on the head coach when you're there, but at the same time, he's not running that defense, as you said, Mike Nolan was. But he's not running that defense, so I don't put as much on that than a defensive-minded head coach. If Ron Rivera's defense sucked, I'm blaming that a lot on him rather than if the offense sucked, where it's kind of like, all right, you just need to hire better coaches. And I don't know, it's going to be sketchy in the NFC East of who's actually going to come down with the win. I think 3 teams have potential to win it. I don't like the Eagles at all, which probably means they're going to win it, right? Because that's just how the NFC East works. Where we were a terrible team. We were the number 2 pick overall. We weren't supposed to do anything, and then we come away with the division win, and it was just a funky year.
That's a good point. For the person to win that NFC East division on that team in general, it's a team that nobody would even talk about. Like, people were doubting Washington all season because of the fact you guys changed your name and a new coaching staff. They would think, oh, it's not going to work right away with Ron Rivera. Players are not used to this type of culture. It's going to take time. Nah, Ron Rivera kind of proved them wrong and just got to win a division. So maybe with the Eagles coaching staff, maybe the new coach staff is a good start. Maybe Jalen Hurts is going to prove the Dallas wrong. Maybe Jalen Hurts is going to finally show the lead that he's exactly what the Eagles want now over Carson Wentz. And maybe the defense will be a lot better under that dude Gannon, whatever his name is, that DC they hired. But
yeah, I don't know who their defensive coordinators, but Nick Sirianni seems like a weird dude. I'm not sure how I feel about Nick Sirianni as a head coach. Good luck. Good luck to him. And I am not a Jalen Hurts fan. I didn't like him coming out of the draft personally. I know he won the Heisman over there in Oklahoma, but I don't know. I didn't like what I saw on tape personally, and I don't remember all the details. I just remember what I thought of when I watched it a couple years ago. So I am not big on Jalen Hurts, even though he beat this team like the Saints. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the Eagles do this year. I'm not high.
Yeah, so huge shout out to my boy Niner Sickness. Today's his birthday. He said hello to you.
Happy birthday! Thank you for stopping by, and thanks for welcoming me. I can't say the word. Welcoming me.
Sometimes we stutter and we don't even think. All right, so so how long have you done your channel, like your YouTube channel, like?
Yeah, my first video was a breakdown of the draft last year, so it's been just over a year for the Tim Sports Talk, and it's a lot of growth this offseason. It was a lot of fun. I was breaking down a lot of players leading into this draft, so that's where a lot of my growth came in. But I've really enjoyed making content, and I've met a bunch of cool people like my co-hosts, Chris, Jarris' Sports Takes. We do a weekly podcast over there, the Chris and Tim podcast, and it's just been a blast making content for everybody. It's been fun.
Oh yeah, like I've had my channel for at least a year or so. Like in August 22nd, it would be like a first year. So I'm already like up to 2K, but started to do like a thing called the NFC West Roundtable with 3 of the other fan base, like the AZ Sports Fan, Steezy A. Smith, Ram Showcase. We're gonna have a roundtable tomorrow. So it's like we've been kind of doing this lately. So the moment that one of the guys was looking for a Niners fan, I didn't even notice that they had a roundtable type of thing, you know. So one of the guys reached out to me and said, "Hey, are you interested to be on a roundtable? We're looking for a Niners fan." And I said, "Why not? I like it." So it got with me. They like what I do, so it's like it's kind of been a fit with me. So I like to just break down our division. I like to break down more of football in general. Sure, I will talk about my Niners on a weekly, but I like to mix it up, you know.
Mm-hmm. Same over here. Absolutely. Yep. Thank you, Roger. I saw that. Chris is a hypocrite.
But in all
Chris
seriously,
has a
man,
love-hate relationship with a lot of people. What's up?
Oh yeah. So who's Chris?
Chris is my co-host on the Chris and Tim podcast. We do it every Wednesday night, and there's a love-hate relationship between our fan base and him. He's very, very, very opinionated, which is great. I love it. It's fun, and we could go back and forth for hours. It's a lot of fun with Chris. But depending on who you talk to, they either hate Chris or they love Chris. There's really no. You're never lukewarm on Chris.
Well, the thing about Chris is, man, they all hate the Chris, man. I just happen to be one.
Oh, you're a Chris as well. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
cool.
why when you look at the name CG, it does kind of go with the first name.
No, 100%. Yeah, I didn't know your name, to be honest. I figured CG was your initials, but I actually had no clue. But yeah, I just knew you as Ruthless Sports, the brutally honest. Ruthless
Yeah,
Sports.
I'm gonna come at you with questions. Nah, but in all seriously, man, it's like I see a lot of people have their own right of opinion, and I just thought, hey, man, somebody like you just have a different perspective of how you predict stuff.
Hmm.
And I can understand where you're coming from, but like I said before, I'm not gonna be like those little butthurt fans say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," type of stuff, man. I just
Hmm.
like to look for the next. See, I watch a lot of people's content, so when I saw your content, I see it every now and then. So I check out majority of other people, and I saw your prediction of the Niners, and I'm like thinking, man, what is this Tim thinking? So I'm like thinking, I want to see what he's got to say, but I'm not gonna go at him like that. I just want to see what he's got to say. And you know what? You got a good solid point.
Hmm.
Durability's been our problem. Quarterback play. If Jimmy G can play consistent, then we'll be all right. But Trey Lance, if we play him too early, it can be an issue there. So
Hmm.
it depends.
For sure. For sure. No, it was fun, and thanks for. I don't know if you have any more questions or anything, but yeah, no, I was just thanks for inviting me. It's been fun, and yeah, it's been cool getting to know the community of sports commentary on YouTube. That's a big thing. Is that we're kind of competing for viewers, but at the same time, it's more of just a collaboration of everybody of just trying to get to know more people, network, and have fun talking football with everybody. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, but I think he's asking you a question. We'll get to some more questions from the audience.
Cool. Perfect. Who's winning the East is the question. All right. If you put a gun to my head today, I'm taking the Cowboys. They have the best quarterback in the division. As you said, they're super talented. If they can stay healthy, I'm going to take the Cowboys winning this division. It's hard for a team to repeat. I would love for us to be the first one to repeat in almost 20 years. I'm not predicting that, unfortunately, and I would say the Dallas Cowboys.
So that would be your prediction. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so let's get to the prediction of the entire divisions of the NFL, and you just choose which one you got in mind. Because I know you do a lot of it, so I've seen a lot of it. But okay, for the NFC West, who do you got win that division and why?
NFC West, I have the Rams. I think Matt Stafford is a clear upgrade over a guy like Jared Goff. Of course, you have the two-headed monster on defense, Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. I like Sean McVay, just like I like Kyle Shanahan as well. But I think they're more win now ready than any other team. And of course, the Seahawks would have the best quarterback in the division. They do have the best quarterback in the division, yet the rest of their team is just trash. They needed O-line, and they draft Dwayne Eskridge as their first pick overall, or like their first pick in the draft, the second round. And it was just, I hate what the Seahawks do over there. But nonetheless, I like the Rams. 12-5 is my record prediction.
Oh, okay. So NFC North, who do you got winning that division and why?
NFC North, I have the Packers. I don't think, I don't hate the Vikings this year. I think they've added a couple good pieces, but I don't think they have enough. Wait, why did I just say Jalen? What's his name? Justin Fields, excuse me, for Chicago. He's not going to be starting week one. And I like the Bears' future potentially. I don't like their coach, though. That's what sucks. And the Lions are just terrible. So I'm going to take the Packers in the NFC North.
Okay, so NFC South, who do you got winning the division and why?
NFC South. Man, I have the Bucks going back to back. Well, actually, they didn't even win it last year. The Saints won it last year. So, excuse me, I have them winning it this year. They brought all 22 starters back from a year ago. They have a phenomenal team, to be honest, if we're all being honest. No Drew Brees there for the Saints. I still think the Saints should be a good football team, though. I'm not down on the Saints at all, and I like the Panthers a lot as a young football team. I like Matt Rule, but I still got to go with the Bucks. I'm not gonna go out on a limb.
Okay, all right. So since you're going to that prediction, okay, so AFC East, who do you got winning and why?
AFC East. I feel like I'm just picking the obvious ones, and I think it is. I don't know if we're gonna have any surprises. NFC East though, or AFC East is. I like the Dolphins. You know what? I am going to go out on a limb on this one. AFC East, I am going to take the Dolphins. I think I love Brian Flores. I like Sean McDermott up there in Buffalo as well, but I don't think that they're quite as of a complete team as the Dolphins. They did figure it out with Xavier Howard. I think Tua steps up this year, and they've put a lot of pieces around him. So, you know what? I'm going to take the Dolphins in the AFC East.
Okay, like the thing about the Dolphins is they've been building through the draft, and Brian Flores has been doing things exactly like the Patriots have been doing. So it's gonna start to pay off. Even if Tua does not pan out, they can always draft a quarterback because they got a lot of draft capital, so they could still be as competitive. I mean, I'm still convinced with Buffalo because they got a quarterback, they got the weapons. I think they're still the team to beat, but I can respect that opinion of what you said. The Dolphins, they are a sleeper. They could sneak in and win that division because it's possible. So it's like you can go in that direction. So I can't disagree on that part. AFC North, who you got?
AFC North. Will Cleveland actually do it? That's the question. I think that Cleveland's the most talented team in that division, and Stefanski seemed to have brought some sort of deal for them. I think the Steelers are going to have a down year. The Ravens are still going to be super strong. They're always solid on defense, well coached. And Lamar Jackson's a beast. So, and I don't think the Bengals have enough. So it's between the Browns and the Ravens. I'm going Browns. I actually predicted a 13-4 record for the Browns, which to me is still ridiculous. But I went through their schedule. I like their team a lot. I like their coach. I'm going to go with the Browns 13-4 record.
Okay, so yeah, the Browns under Stefanski, they've kind of been a very competitive team. So they do got two-headed running game. So they got two running backs
The
that are
best
really
running
good.
back
So,
duo, yeah. The best running
yeah,
back
it
duo in the
is.
league. They're nasty. Yep.
And their receivers are pretty good too. So even with Baker Mayfield, like people were sleeping on Cleveland. They didn't even think they were going to win one playoff game, and they just did. So it's kind of like you never know. It just takes one playoff win to turn it around. Just look at Baltimore. They finally got over the hump for once with Lamar Jackson. So you look at how it does. So Cleveland may not be the laughing stock anymore. So that's a good one right there
And they
because
have a
it's
top-tier offensive line also. They have the best running back duo, and then they have like a top 5 offensive line. It's ridiculous in Cleveland right now.
yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay, so AFC South, who do you got winning and why?
AFC South, I love the Colts this year. I think the Titans are still going to be strong, but I think Carson Wentz, he's another one though. He's got to stay healthy. But I love the GM for the Colts. The Colts have been one of my favorite teams to watch in the offseason. They were an 11-5 team, yet they had the most cap space or like the third most cap space, I think, behind Jacksonville and the Jets. So they had some of the most cap space. They went and got their quarterback Carson Wentz. They're a nice young team. Jonathan Taylor's a beast. Another top 5 offensive line over there. Michael Pittman Jr. Ty is still there. A lot of people forget Ty can still ball over there. The defense with Darius Leonard. They got Buckner from you guys. I like the Colts to win that AFC South.
Yeah, even with Frank Wright as the head coach, but the only problem is can Carson Wentz make it to the season? That's the only issue. But I mean, the AFC South is kind of tricky. I still think that Tennessee is still the team to beat because they made a good move by getting Julio Jones, and their defense should be a little bit better than what they had last year. So I think even with running the ball with Derrick Henry, I'm still going to go with Tennessee on this one. But as far as I mean, the Colts, I want to buy into them, but I just don't know. I just got to wait and see. I know that Carson Wentz has that connection with Frank Wright, and it kind of makes a lot of sense, but the guy can never stay healthy, so it's kind of proving it right there. So it's like, I don't know, what is it with Carson Wentz? Is he just made fragile, like made of glass or something? Can't stay healthy for
It does suck.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to think about him coming out of the draft. At that time, I didn't go deep dive into the draft. But that first game where he beat the Steelers, I fell in love with the dude. I thought he was a phenomenal quarterback. But you're right. The dude just – I don't know. I behind that great offensive line, I'm going to give it to him. I think he's going to actually play a good amount this year. We'll see how long this injury – I think he's already going to start out this year, not playing. I think he had surgery, didn't he, or something like that? I don't know. We'll see. But I still like the Colts. Even without Carson Wentz, I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender without Carson Wentz. But even without Carson Wentz, I still would not be surprised if they went and signed Phillip Rivers again. And they end up winning a bunch of games because Phillip Rivers said that, hey, he's actually not opposed to coming out if a team needs him to play. So maybe they bring back Phillip Rivers, and I think they still play really well.
Yeah, so, yeah, guess who said hello to you since you brought up his name?
There he is, Jairus' Sports Takes. What's up, bro?
Yeah, hey, but maybe down the road I'll collaborate with him too, man. We got the same name in common. We got the same exact name.
Go for it.
They either like us or hate us.
Yep.
All right, so any guys want to ask any questions? But wait, AFC West. Forgot to bring that one up.
Yeah, AFC West. Of course, I'm going with the Chiefs. I mean, it's Pat Mahomes. But my sleeper team of the year is the Denver Broncos. And I'm not picking them to win the division, but I love the Broncos right now. They're actually a really strong team all around, and I actually am a Drew Lock fan. I know that's not a common place in the NFL world, but I like Drew Lock, and I compare him to guys like Josh Allen, and I compare him to guys like Baker Mayfield, guys that struggled in the beginning, strong arms, a good mobility, strong talent. I think that this year he explodes with Cortland Sutton back. They still have Noah Fant there. They got Jerry Jeudy. I think Jerry Jeudy cleans up the drops, and I like the Broncos as a sleeper. But I still have to go with my favorite quarterback in the league, Pat Mahomes. I love that dude. The dude's a freak.
It's hard to deny that part. Kansas City's just the best team overall. But if I had to pick a sleeper in the AFC West, I know people are talking about the Broncos, but man, I don't know about the Broncos. I thought I was feeling it last year, but it just wasn't. It just wasn't. Like, I gotta go with the Chargers, man. They just seem like they're gonna make strides. They're gonna get better. So that can be the sleeper team that nobody's even mentioning about. The Raiders, I don't know. It depends on the coaching staff. Depends on the culture change, but I would have to go with the Chargers because Justin Herbert is gonna make strides in year 2, and this offense is going to be exceptionally good. Their defense should be a lot better than a little bit better under the coaching staff because they just hired him from the Rams. I mean, Bradley Staley should be able to get this team as competitive as they can. So it depends on it. So
I just made a video on the Chargers today, and I had them going 10-7. You're absolutely right. I love the Chargers. They're a good all-around football team. Rashawn Slater, their first-round pick, is also a beast. They got Asante Samuel in the second round, who I think could be an awesome corner. So, yeah, there's a lot to like about the Chargers. And that's why I think they're a little bit less of a sleeper team than the Broncos. But I do agree that they're not really expected to be a great football team, but has the potential through the roof to be 11-12 win team all of a sudden. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, like they do have the offense. I mean, the quarterback, Justin Herbert's giving them the spark. It's kind of like a little bit better than what Phillip Rivers brought to the table. So it's like when you see Justin Herbert play, it's like really unbelievable. So I know a lot of people are just hyping the Broncos, but even with a great defense, even with a really good defense, they just still haven't been able to duplicate what they had in the Super Bowl. Like when they had Peyton Manning, they just never been the same. A lot of Bronco fans will be saying, we're just one good quarterback away from being competitive, which I wouldn't disagree about it, but even with a decent quarterback, they've gotten a lot of quarterbacks before and they just never panned out. Like Case Keenum, he had one breakout year with the Vikings, never was the same. Mm-hmm. I mean, they brought in a lot of guys. Like they thought Trevor Siemian was going to be the guy to take over, and he was never the guy. They're hyping Drew Lock. I thought Drew Lock was going to be the breakout player, and boy, was I wrong. So it's like I can't trust the Broncos. It seems like I'm foolish. Maybe they sold themselves to the devil for the Super Bowl because they probably just willing to take the losing season.
Hey, well, they did. They went and got the older quarterback, and they definitely drafted some rough quarterbacks. You think of Brock Osweiler, Trevor Siemian, Tim Tebow they drafted in the past. Yeah, it's their history of quarterback drafting is not good, but I'm still a Drew Lock fan. I wanted the Skins to get him that year instead of Dwayne Haskins, and I'm holding out hope that he is going to show up this year for the first time and prove a lot of his doubters wrong.
Yeah, and the thing with the Broncos too is that Drew Lock is going to have to compete with Teddy Bridgewater, so
Mm-hmm.
that's the one thing that I'm not really convinced about. I mean, sure, Teddy Bridgewater did good with the Saints when he got the opportunity. Even with the Vikings, he was decent, but
Mm-hmm.
decent quarterbacks doesn't cut it for a team like Denver because they still have a lot of flaws on themselves they have to overcome. So we shall see about that one.
We shall see. Was there anybody else? Any other division you missed? I don't think so. Actually,
Uh,
did you?
oh,
I
I
think we're
think I got
good.
them all.
I think you're
Yeah,
good
but
too. Yep. Yep.
if you guys want to ask any more questions, we'll leave a couple questions and then we'll just end it from here. But so far, yeah, it's good chit chatting with you, man. You seem to know what you're talking about. You got a little bit of different opinions. But what did Tim predict our record to be?
I predicted a 9-8 season, and I thought it was going to be lower. But I looked at your guys' schedule, and I actually went up from what I thought it was going to be. But I predicted a 9-8 record, and just too many injury question marks. Jimmy G question mark, and the receiver question mark, and the secondary. So it's too many question marks for me. I think you guys are the third best team in that division. I would actually still take you guys over a team like the Cardinals, believe it or not, and that's how I feel. Oh, Tim, sweet naive Tim.
That's just a compliment of you saying you're giving her a hard time.
No,
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 she's
it's all
funny, but
good. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
all
all
good.
good. So yeah, I guess she said. Oh, he said, Tommy, you're hilarious. But I'm definitely gonna have to get Jared Sports takes at this point. He seems like another one. But
Yep,
hey,
he's a
like
lot of fun.
everybody is, man. Everybody's more than welcome to speak how they feel. But it's like
Mhm.
we can go on about it. But ask any other question one last time, and we'll probably just end it from here.
Yeah, I know
But
Yuki. I saw Yuki. Yeah, I like how he says I'm talking trash about you guys. I gave you guys a winning record, and then he says we're going 5-12. Come on, Yuki. Uh,
tell everyone about Nick Rochi. Oh yeah, he signed with the Lions, I believe. Yeah, that was the one guy I wouldn't mind because he plays nickel, so he would be a nice backup behind Quan Williams. But
I honestly don't have an opinion on Robe. I don't know much about him at all, to be very honest with you. I don't know.
so okay, so Jared Sports Take says coach should start Sam Ellinger. What do you think?
He was a big Sam Ellinger guy coming out of this draft. I am not at all. Probably because he lost to University of Maryland twice, and I don't think that that is very good on your record to lose. I'm a UMD fan, and so I could say that as a fan, you should not lose to us as a ranked opponent, and they did twice in about 3 years. So it was. I'm not big on Sam Ellinger coming out of this draft personally.
Okay, so there's a question by Yuki. What do you think about the Bills potentially moving to Austin? Is that even true? I haven't heard about that one. I've heard of
That would be.
Toronto and other places.
Um, I'm just gonna assume the rumors are true and answer it that way. I wouldn't like that. I don't think that that's a good move. I think they should stay in Buffalo. They have a great fan base up there in Buffalo. They love their team, and I know it's cold. I know it's brutal. Get a dome. Go just build a dome instead of moving all the way from Buffalo to Austin. I would just stay right in where you are and just build a dome and then protect yourself from the weather.
Yeah, but I've heard a lot of rumors that they were going to either think about moving to Toronto or Winnipeg, one of those other Canadian cities.
Oh, try to move the league to Canada. I would hate that for Buffalo, especially once they're getting good again. They've been rough for so long, and then you get a great quarterback in a great situation, and then they just move away from you. I would be absolutely irate if I was a fan. But I know teams are moving, man. You got the Rams moving to LA, the Chargers moving to LA, Oakland is now in the Las Vegas. There's teams that want to move, and I'm just not in on it. Just not a fan.
Oh yeah, so we got an Eagles fan. He's an up and coming YouTuber, but he's definitely a cool dude to talk your division. So maybe you should consider collaborating him in the near future. Bird Game 31.
I would love to. I am reaching out to other content creators of other teams that we're playing against. So obviously, unfortunately, we don't play the Eagles until late in the season. But yeah, I would love to have somebody like that on the channel. I want to do like I don't know what I want to call it yet. Probably got to figure out a name quickly. I don't know if it's like behind enemy lines or battle. I don't know
Well,
yet.
behind enemy lines, that sounds kicky.
Yeah, so something something along those lines. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it, but I want to have content creators from the teams that we're playing that week on the channel to have a conversation about the matchup and how we're feeling and kind of predicting that and have fun with that. So definitely. What was his name again? Gridiron what?
Well, no, it's
Or
Bird Game 31.
Bird Gang. I saw the G and I went so Bird Gang 31. All right, cool.
Yeah, he's kind of interviewed a lot of big YouTubers lately, so he's been kind of up and coming for quite a while, like for a few months. That's how he created his channel. But
Awesome. Good luck. I
yeah,
hope you do well.
yeah, he said, "Let's do it, my guy."
All
Yeah,
right, perfect.
he's. I got him coming up pretty soon in week 2, so I'm gonna be on his streaming in the coming days. But
Hmm.
yeah, as far as the overall prediction of it, oh man, it's like wait
You
and
haven't
see how
said
it plays
yours.
out.
What's your prediction? I don't know yours. You haven't said it
Oh, prediction. Okay,
for the
so
Niners.
okay, I think 11 wins is pretty much like the at best. Realistically, if we can't stay healthy, I would say the worst case scenario will be 7 or 6 wins if we can't stay healthy or play
Hmm.
consistent. So best chance is 11 wins. That's how I see it.
Best
I know a
chance
lot of
11.
people. Yeah, the team that would win the division easily, and it's just like you said, like you were saying, I would shoot myself. I would say the Rams. The
Hmm.
Rams are just a more complete football team, and I know we've owned this team for quite a while, and that's okay. I just want to load the expectation. I don't want to be disappointed about the hype. I remember like in 2019, I said 10 wins, and guess what? 3 more wins because I didn't want to be all I don't want to be like those Cowboy fans or those Raider fans thinking, "Oh, we're gonna go to the Super Bowl."
Every year,
I don't like,
every year. Yeah.
yeah, I don't like to think like that, man. And I know some people may question it, but hey, I'd rather be straightforward. I want to wait and see how it plays out. Like if we can stay healthy and play football consistently well, then I have no doubt in my mind we can win 12 or 13 games. But it's just gotta stay healthy, gotta play our best football.
It- that run game and defense. That's what the Niners do, and we'll see if that could be if they're healthy. That those two things are going to be great.
Yeah, and something about Roger Smith is a good solid point, but if we can stay healthy.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, don't sleep on us, but we got to prove it. We got to prove it on the field.
Hmm.
We got to prove it. We got to stay healthy. I don't want to just. I know I rather us be the underdogs because at least we can be the one that people are going to say, oh, they lost the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago. They're going to fall apart type of like narrative, and then we just come into the woodwork and just sneak in and just punch people right in the mouth a little bit and then just make a statement. So yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, as far as like the predictions, AFC East, I'm going with Buffalo because I just think they're still a better team.
No,
Even
sorry.
Miami's going to.
Yeah. Well, you could go through them if you want to. I'm. You said who you thought were going to win the division. I just didn't know what your prediction was for the Niners specifically. I know that we were
Oh
talking
yeah,
about mine. Yeah, but go ahead.
like 11 wins would be at best. So that would be my prediction realistically. Like if we're at our best, I say 11 wins and we'll still make the playoffs. But
11-6, not bad.
yeah, and as far as like I said about AFC East, it would be Buffalo.
Hmm.
AFC North, it's I want to go. I got to go with the Ravens because it just seems like even with Lamar Jackson, they're still going to be unbeatable at times. So then the AFC South, I'm going with the Titans because they seem like a better team. AFC West is going to be the Chiefs, but don't sleep on the Chargers. And then on the NFC East, it's going to come down between the Washington Football and the Cowboys, but I'm probably just going to flip it to the Cowboys on this one. So NFC NFC South, I have to go with the Bucks because they didn't win the division last year, so they'll be likely to win it for sure, and they got the pressure. So this, I'll go on a limb. I'll go on a limb on the NFC North. I got the Minnesota Vikings winning it.
Okay,
It's
the
like
Minnesota Vikings.
that's bold because I think last season was a fluke. They were unfortunate with a lot of issues. Now that they fixed a lot of the issues, I think they're going to be the better team. And I think Green Bay is just at a point where they're just a little bit overrated. And they seem to always dominate for quite a while, but they've been like taking it very lightly. So it's like they're not quite the team yet. Yeah, I think at our best, if we can stay healthy, we could definitely win the division. I'm not doubting it. It's like I just have to keep it 100. So it's like,
Hmm.
yeah. All right, guys. So any questions or that's it? I think we can just end it from here if you
It's
want.
all good, man. Yeah. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
so in the near future, if you want to collaborate, if we ever have some discussions, you're more than welcome. Where I can come down your stream.
All right, yeah, I'm sure we'll figure something out for sure. I don't know. I as I said, I do play by play, so I'm going to be doing a lot of play by play for a lot of these games, even throughout the preseason, getting ready for the regular season. Right now, I'm doing my series, as I said, with the all the predictions and roster breakdowns, and I'm enjoying it because I think it's going to improve my commentating to know these teams at a deeper level than what I have in the past. Like I kind of just known the other teams more of like the well-known players or like the fantasy relevant players or stuff like that. I'm trying to get to know them as a little bit more of each team is on a deeper level than I have in the past.
Oh yeah, it does help you a little bit more. Even the play-by-plays get it into the. It keeps it like it keeps elevating yourself more. The more you get to know all about it, the better. So
Mm-hmm.
like earlier, I was interviewing this Rams fan, and he does this thing called NFL Game Pass. He does a lot of like this film breakdown. This guy's really intelligent when it comes down to it. Like he's very intriguing. Maybe down the road, if you guys play the Rams, you should check out Jake Allenbogen.
Oh, the
He's
one
like
you just had on earlier today?
yeah, he's
Yeah,
one
yeah,
he's very intelligent. Like I'm like very impressed by him. Like I'm like wow, dude.
yeah. Good.
He's got like, dude, like he just has it in, bro. Like everybody just seems to like. I mean, even though he was kind of a little bit unbiased, a little bit, but he was straightforward to it. That's what I like about it.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Cool. Yeah, Jake Ellenbogen. Yeah, I saw. I was listening to it a little bit beforehand, just to get an idea of what to expect.
Oh yeah, he can mix it up a little here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks for everybody else, man. But be sure to go subscribe to Tim's Sports Talk, man. Watch Tim YouTuber, but he does a little bit of all 32 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys want to hear his opinion prediction, go check him out. And if you think he's a little bit wrong, then go debate like I am right now.
Oh, tell me I'm wrong. I get it all the time, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's
It's
all
all
good,
in
man.
fun. It's all in
It's
fun.
all in the fun, bro. It's all good.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes people don't want to debate, so it's like it's better to debate with somebody and not try to like say something then not do something about it. But hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with it, man.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun, and thanks for everybody. I don't know how many people were watching. I didn't even pull it up, but I appreciate all of you stopping by, and hopefully, yeah, come on over to the Tim Sports Talk. Hit that sub button, and we'll try to catch up to our boy Ruthless Sports here. I'm around just over halfway behind him, but I know he's growing at a fast rate, so it's fun.
Yeah, I'm growing on a fast rate because of the wrestling content because I do a little bit of that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw you do
That's
a
like
lot of those shorts.
yeah,
The
short videos.
Yeah, which obviously those help grow and a lot because people can just watch those fast, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the views go up like insane too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess that's why some of them kind of disagree. But we have 9 people watching, so it's like it was going from 13, and it's still at 9, going strong. So it's like some of them are just saying keep sleeping on us, Tim, and they're just saying that maybe you're wrong a little. But hey, it's okay, man. It's like
It's
we
all
got
good.
the
Yeah,
opinion.
and I hope so. And just like we tell Yuki he's crazy all the time, right? For our team, it's very similar, right? You guys know the team a lot deeper than I do, clearly, and good because you guys follow them at a higher level. And I wish the best for y'all. I have no problem with y'all.
Yeah, I just think it's funny how they feel. But hey,
I
I
like
really
that.
do.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just saw Vegas disagrees. I actually wrote this down and I forgot. Yeah, apparently ESPN FBI has you guys. I don't know if you saw this as tied for the 4th best chance to win the Super Bowl over the Rams. Like the Rams weren't even on that discussion. You guys have a 6% chance to win. The highest was 15% chance for the Chiefs, 12% for the Bucks, and I think it was like 9% for the Packers or the Bills, I think. And then you guys were tied with the Packers and the Ravens for the 4th best chance to win the entire thing, which I thought was pretty wild, to be honest. But fair enough. Vegas definitely, or the experts disagree with me.
Well, Vegas seems to like us more than the Raiders.
Yeah.
I guess so. So I'll give you your final last saying, and we're gonna end the stream from here. But hey, I appreciate it, man. But anybody else, If you want to go check out his channel, if you don't agree with what he's got to say, you could just give him a comment and debate with him. He's man enough to do that, and he's very respectful. So, just saying, go give him a chance. Give him a chance. Give him a chance, Empire.
Hey, it's all good. Thank you very much for having me. Seriously, it was fun. Appreciate you having me on, and hopefully, I will speak with you guys in the future. And until next time, sit. All right, man.
All right, man. Have a good one, bro.
See you, man.
All right. I know what you guys are saying. Yeah, I think we do have a chance to win that division. So I just got to lower the hype a little bit. But I appreciate every one of you guys for watching me and the Tim's Sports Talk. I kind of just found it intriguing what he predicted. But at the same time, it is what it is. Thank you guys for enjoying this live stream. Be sure to hit the like and subscription. And if you Washington football fans that follow Tim, be sure to check out my content. I'll talk about your team and give you some predictions of it. But other than that, have a good day. CG Ruthless Sports is out, and go Niners.